from Metropolitan Bikes. Today I will be showing you how to assemble a Metropolitan Ladies Beach Cruiser. But before we start, there are some tools you will need to assemble your bike. You can also use the Allen keys we have provided you in the box. When your bike arrives, it will be in a sturdy cardboard box. Make sure the box is the right way up. Once you have removed them from the box, you can carefully remove your bike. You will also find your drink bottle and holder along with your back carrier at the bottom of the box. You will need to turn your front forks facing forward. They are turned backwards for shipping purposes only. Now take your scissors and cut away the bubble wrap very carefully. To insert the handle. It is very important that they show the minimum insertion height. Now position your handlebars to a general height you would like. We will come back and do the other adjustments later. Disable the front brakes. Then, remove the nuts and bolts to do so. Make sure you don't forget to attach your front reflector. Use your screwdriver to attach it with the screw in the accessory box to the front bracket. Make sure the front fender is as high as possible and is straight. You will need a 10mm spanner. Don't over tighten it as you may need to readjust it later. Now you will notice some chrome bolts at the bottom of the front fork. This is where you will attach the side stays to the bottom of the front forks. You will need a 10mm spanner or adjustable wrench to do this. Just nip them up as you may need to readjust them later. Now it's time to attach your front wheel to the forks. Now slide the axles into the fork dropouts. Make sure your bike is stable by pulling out the kickstand. Do one side up at a time, as this may cause the wheel to become unbalanced. Now it's time to adjust your front brakes. You will notice that the front brake pads are positioned vertically. This is for shipping purposes only. Make sure you're not touching the tyre. Firmly tighten it, but don't over tighten it. You'll need to adjust this later. Make sure you do this with both sides of the front brakes. Now use your 5mm Allen key to adjust the angle and firmly tighten your front and rear brake levers in a comfortable position. Now you need to make sure your front brake lever thimble adjuster is about halfway out. Make sure you use the thimble lock so that the cable doesn't fall out. Now use your pliers to pull the cable through the lock nut so it's taut. Now spin your front wheel to test the front brakes. making sure it's not touching your brake when it spins. If it does, back off your thimble adjuster until the brake levers. You will find some small black screws on the side area of your brake calipers. These are micro adjustments that help you balance the movement of the brake arms. Now for attaching the back carrier, you will need an 8mm and 10mm spanner or adjustable wrench. You will find 2 chrome bolts mounted above the back fender on the frame. This is where you will attach the front part of the back carrier with the 8mm spanner or adjustable wrench. You will also find 2 chrome bolts near the drop out on your frame. The ones you use are the ones that are not currently being used. Use your 10mm spanner or adjustable wrench to firmly tighten them on each side. Now it's time to attach the pedals. You will notice that on the end of the pedals there are the letters L and R. This is for left and right. You can put a little oil, if you like, on the threads. Your left pedal tightens anti-clockwise. This stops it from coming undone when you pedal. You will need to make sure the pedal is perfectly horizontal and square to the crank arm when you screw the pedal into the thread. To set up your seat, you will need to use a 14mm spanner or adjustable wrench and a screwdriver. Firstly, assemble your back reflector. It's the red one, and mount it on the top of the seat tube. Then insert the top of the seat tube into the clasp on the bottom of the seat. Make sure the seat is in a horizontal position and tighten firmly. Do not over tighten, you may need to readjust this later. Assembling it this way will ensure your seat tube does not fall inside the bike frame. Now insert the seat tube into the frame with the seat attached. Then adjust your locking clasp to the seat tube, making sure your seat is facing forward and at the height you would like. Your bike has been fitted with Shimano 7-speed gears, which has a rev shift. The gears are factory assembled. They are usually good to go, but in some cases you may need to micro adjust the gears with a small thimble adjuster down near the derailleur. Now it's time to come back to your handlebar stem. Make sure it's nice and straight, then tighten it up and do the same with your handlebars. This is really important for safety. Now go over all the nuts and bolts to double check they have been firmly tightened and adjusted correctly. If for any reason you are not sure about your assembly process or have any uncertainty about this instructional video, please contact us. We are here to help you. Now your bike should be good to go. Have fun and always stay safe.